Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. If you're my previous subscribers, welcome back to the channel. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about who will win the 2024 Senate and nonetheless, who will win the corresponding 2024 Senate races. So we are going to go through a whole bunch of Senate races. We're going to try to make it simple and quick for you guys. If you want to go to a specific race, you're just interested in maybe the state of Texas because it concerns you more, you can go into the description. Everything will be timestamped in the description below. Without further ado, we are going to begin. This video is being recorded on October 23rd, 2024 at 1:01 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Keep in mind this video is just for entertainment purposes only, and that is all. We are going to start off with our very first Maryland U.S. Senate seat, Larry Hogan versus Angela Ossorbrook. I think it's how you pronounce the name. Now, the reason why we're doing this because in my previous one where I said Kamala Harris will be the projected winner and will become the next U.S. president. However, that had not always been the case. Always with Trump, as early as 2021 when I read on the issue of who was going to be the 47th president. Now, when I read recently on the U.S. Senate, it kind of gave me like a very wonky answer. Like for the House, it gave me a very definitive answer. But for the Senate, it kind of said Republicans win it, but the Democrats aren't in the majority, and neither are the Republicans, but the Republicans in the majority. It's very weird. So we are going to see how this plays out and see what the Senate map looks like. At the end of the video, we will be showcasing all the races based on how they went into the reading, and I will show you what the map looks like. So without further ado, let's begin. So we are going to do Maryland Senate, Larry Hogan versus Angela Ossorbrook. So we are going to do it the same way that we've done it before. We are going to pull the energies and then be able to read from there. So Spears Angels Tommy for Maryland U.S. Senate, Larry Hogan, the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate in Maryland. What energy or what card best represents Larry Hogan? Thank you. This is Larry Hogan. Can you on my right? Okay, and for Angela Ossorbrook, the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in Maryland, what card best represents her? Her energies. Okay. Now I'm gonna try my best to be back. So we're gonna do anyway. So okay. So what card deck best feels like I can get an answer? Okay, so I'm hearing in my head that I don't need another card to be able to give me the answer because the answer is already in the characteristic of who is going to win. So we're just going to go with that. So for Larry Hogan, the card that represents him is, okay, that makes sense. The 10 of Cups reverse. And then for Angela Ossorbrook is the Chariot, right? She doesn't get an automatic win. It's not a straight up victory like you would expect in a deep red or deep blue state. She's not gonna have it easy because she had to campaign hard for this seat. She's gonna get it. She's gonna win Maryland Senate seat, but she's gonna have to do some sort of introspection and try to convince the voters in the next election cycle why they can continue voting for her. Yeah, they're gonna vote for her in the cycle, but she's gonna have to convince them long term why they should keep voting for her instead of her Republican opponent or whoever her opponent is come that time. That's what's interesting is that Larry Hogan is not going to win the Senate race here, but he's going to make it competitive enough that she had to do some sort of introspection and really convince those never Ossorbrook voters to come to her side. That's what's going to be really interesting about this race. So Maryland, go Democrat. Okay, so we're going to start off with our next Senate race here. Elisa Slockins versus Mike Rogers. Give me 1 second. I got to see who's the Democrat here. Okay, I'm back. Lisa Slockins, the Democrat. Mike Rogers, the Republican. Okay, so Spears Angels, tell me. For Mike Rogers, what is the card that best represents the energies of Mike Rogers, the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Michigan? What card best represents him? Okay. Now, for Elisa Slotkin, the Democratic candidate in the U.S. Senate, what card? Okay, well, they already gave me a card, so I guess we'll use that. All right, let's see here. So we have here for Mike Rogers, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7 of Swords for Mike Rogers, the Republican, and we have the Tower card. Ooh, okay. That's not really a good sign. That is not a good sign. Especially for these cards, these specific candidates. It looks like the Republican walked away with the win here over the Democrat. So this will be a flip, I believe. So the Democrat loses, the Republican takes it. But we are going to get further clarification here in the state of Michigan. Can I get clarification card, please? Okay. Can I get clarification card, please, on the Tower card for Alicia Slockins in the state of Michigan, the Democratic candidate? Why does she have the Tower card? Because it almost feels like it's not like legit, like they call it too early. I don't know. I don't think she wins. How about Mike Rogers? Can I get some clarification card? Oh, okay. So it almost feels like, when you look at the results and you look at the card, it's telling me a recount. Like it's too close to call. Like, okay, so the Mike Rogers leads in the vote count, but it's too close to call. In the state of Michigan Senate race, it's too close to call. We have the Empress card for her, where she's the current incumbent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of wands reversed. This is pretty much a good sign. There's not as much trouble. However, this is the abortion. This is the Kamala Harris card. This was the card that told me that she was the winner in the presidential election. This is not the case for Lisa Slotkin, who has this card in reverse. The women vote did not turn out for Lisa. We have here the Knight of Pentacles, stalemate. So she has not stopped. So for some reason, she has more votes to come out of this recount. Almost feels like some votes that went to the Republican were actually Democrat and they were miscounted. Now, again, this video is just for entertainment purposes only. We do have the Hangman reverse, right? This is a shocking upset. Like, they kind of didn't really expect them to win, but they won regardless. We have the Ace of Swords. Now, this card means that they defeat the incumbent. This card is reversed. It's telling me they look like they defeat the incumbent, but they actually don't defeat the incumbent. So it almost feels like they win, they get to declare the winner. Then under the recount, Alicia Slockins the winner. That's what it's telling me. And it says here the King of Cups is reversed. He doesn't look like he's going to win. Because normally this card would be up that indicates to me that, oh, he is going to be the incumbent. He's going to be the one who gets elected. Normally when the seat is upright, this tells me that they are in office or they're going to be elected to office. This card is reversed and it's coming in the present. That tells me that they will lose the seat or they won't even become the incumbent. The Lisa Slotkin card has her seat upright. And they are in incumbency. However, her seat in the present is also upside down. What's also theoretically possible is it could pull off what happened in Georgia back in 2020, where it was too close to call and it triggered a two-way race, and it had to be redone again, and people had to come out and turn out and vote. I wonder if that's the case here, where they have to do another election because maybe they didn't reach the 50% threshold. I'm not exactly sure how it works in the state of Michigan and the laws there, but as of right now, I'm going to say that Michigan is a toss-up, but lightly leans. I'm going to put a toss-up. We cannot call Michigan at this time. Michigan is a toss-up. So we are going to do the next one, Ohio Senate race, Bernie Moreno versus Sherry Brown. Bernie Moreno is the Republican candidate in this aspect, and Sherry Brown is the Democrat. He was the one who had the incumbency factor, but he is expected to either hold on or to lose. He does overperform Democrats when he is on the ballot during presidential years, but this year might be different due to hyper-partisanization, and that might cost him the Senate seat. So we're going to take a look. So Spirits and Angels tell me, Ohio Senate race, Bernie Moreno versus Sherry Brown. What is the energy for Bernie Moreno, the Republican candidate, for Senate in the state of Ohio. Okay? And what is the card that represents Sherrod Brown, the energy around Sherrod Brown, the Democratic candidate for United States Senate? Okay? We'll take a look. We need some clarification cards. Okay, give me clarification cards for I was gonna switch over because I just got told to do this one first. For Bernie Moreno, the Republican U.S. candidate for U.S. Senate in 2024 in the state of Ohio. Please give me past, present, future. Okay, please give me Democratic U.S. candidate, Senate candidate, Sherrod Brown for the state of Ohio. What is his past, present, future looking like in the Senate race? Ooh, okay. So this is interesting because the cards alone does not indicate good thing for either candidate. We have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of Pentacles. This is reversed. But now that I realize it's reversed because normally this indicates hardship. You're looking at it, you only have 1 pentacle, you're trying to look at where to grab. This is reversed for Sherrod Brown, the Democratic U.S. candidate. This tells me that he is not having as much trouble as the polls are indicating. However, for the Republicans here, we have the moon, the eclipse. And this is reversed. This normally means, like, for me, howling at the moon, a new change, something new coming in, an eclipse of some sort. It's reversed. This tells me that no, there's some sort of darkness, some shadow here. Now, when it comes to Sherrod Brown here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of Cups reverse. And this normally means state of confusion. You don't know where to focus. You don't know where your path is. This is reverse. This is his path. He has a very good path. A lot of people know his history. People know who he is. We have the King of Wands. As of right now, he looks like he's going to lose his seat in the polling. Right? This is why the card is upside down. He had all the disadvantages going his way. However, in the present, in the future aspect here, we have the Sun card. He pulled out a victory. He shocked the nation for some reason. Almost like the polling is incorrect. There's something wrong with the polling here that indicating that he might be tracked to lose, but in case that's not really the case here in the state of Ohio. Now, for Bernie Moreno, we have the 3 of Pentacles reversed, and this indicates to me a lack of connection with voters, right? They think that Bernie Moreno is going into the Senate race as like, oh, I'm going to be the de facto senator because people are going to vote Republican because it's me and I'm the Republican, they're going to vote down ballot. That's not really what it's indicating here. We do have the Empress card here. He is not holding the light going in the tunnel and not seeing where he's going in blind, and that's going to cost him the election. Overconfidence. And he has a lot of challenges. He has the 10 of Wands here. It's telling me he's going to have a hard time on election night getting out the vote and getting across the finish line. I'm going to say state of Ohio, the U.S. Senate race goes Democrat. Sherrod Brown will be the victor here again for entertainment purposes only. Okay, so for the next Senate race that we are going to do is Nevada Senate, Jackie Rosen versus Sam Brown. Sam Brown is the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Nevada, and Jackie Rosen is the Democratic candidate in the state of Nevada. So we'll take a look and see what the energies are and see how is Nevada voting. Gonna be interesting to see. All right, so Spirit Angels tell me for Republican U.S. Senate candidate Sam Brown in the state of Nevada for the U.S. Senate this year, what energies are surrounding Sam Brown as a candidate? Okay. Okay. So now for Jackie Rosen, the U.S. Senate for Jackie Rosen in the state of Nevada, what are the energies surrounding the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate, Jackie Rosen in the state of Nevada this year for U.S. Senate? What is surrounding her? Okay. Interesting. All right, so Spirit Angel, tell me, please give me a past, present, future for Sam Brown, the Republican candidate in the U.S. Senate. Okay. Please give me a past, present, future for Jackie Rosen in the state of Nevada's U.S. Senate race. How is she performing at the moment? And how will she perform? Past, present, future. Okay. Okay, so this is going to be a very interesting one. So for we're gonna do the Republican candidate first. We have Stan Brown. We have the Five of Cups reverse. And this is telling me here, this is normally means lost sadness. It almost feels like Stan Brown has some sort of appeal that is being underlooked by Democrats, specifically Jackie Rosen. She's not hitting where she needs to hit him when it comes to making sure he does not become the next U.S. Senator in the state of Nevada. We do have here, it is followed up by his energy here, is the Four of Swords. There's talks about his time in the military. I think he is in the military. Don't quote me on this. But it almost feels like some sort of war has resonated with voters there. I feel like there might be a high soldier or army population, military population in the state of Nevada that is going to come out for Stan Brown. And that's her target audience, but she's not targeting them. And that can be a big issue for the Democrats in the state of Nevada. We do have here being the past, present, future here, the past being overseas, his past history. She needs to attack him on his past history. She's not doing that. I don't think she's doing it. That's what the card is telling me here. We have the Hierophant. He's not coming off as extreme as he normally is led to believe personally. So it must feel like he has moderating his tone for voters to be able to swallow the pill and be able to vote. That's what it feels like to me in the present. However, we do have here the Five of Pentacles reversed. This doesn't really look like a loss for me. It actually looks like a Republican pickup. For Stan Brown, it almost feels like he's going to win this Senate race in the state of Nevada at the moment. But we are going to take a look at Jackie Rosen now. We do have here, we have this card showing up. She has like one Democratic base, but she doesn't know where to start. She doesn't know where to look. It almost feels like for her, she's confused. She don't know how to connect to voters, and that's the problem for her. Almost like a communication issue. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 of Cups reversed. Doesn't look like a lot of Democrats are going to come out for her, and I wonder if this is because Trump gets pushed over the edge in the state of Nevada. It looks like Nevada could go Republican this year on the presidential and the U.S. Senate. We do have the King of Pentacles. Just like I said, the seat of the throne is reversed. She loses the incumbency. She's the current incumbent in Poland. However, there is some sort of air, like there are more voters that may come out and vote for her last minute. They may change the race. But as of right now, the current energy is projecting that she loses her seat. So are going to make the projection at the moment because Nevada is a little different, and it feels like people may come out last minute on election day and they may go vote and they may change the outcome of Nevada. However, as of right now, it's Republican. I'm going to say Nevada goes Republican. Okay, so we are going to do our next Senate race here. We have the state of Texas, a really hotly contested one between Ted Cruz, the Republican candidate, versus Colin Allred, I think is how you pronounce his name, the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Texas. So let's take a look. So spirits and angels tell me in the state of Texas for the Republican candidate Ted Cruz, in the state of Texas for U.S. Senate, what are the energies surrounding Ted Cruz in the state of Texas U.S. Senate race? Okay, well, that's a lot of information. So I guess we're just going to keep it. This is the energy surrounding him. So maybe that might answer the question for me. Now, for the Democrat here, Colin Allred, the Democratic candidate in the state of Texas, for Democrats here in the state of Texas here for the U.S. Senate, how is he performing? What are the energies surrounding Colin Allred in the state of Texas? Will he win the U.S. Senate race? Okay, can I get a past, present, future card here, please? For Colin Allred, the Democratic candidate. Okay, tell me to do the Republican first, because I might not need to do him. So we'll do Ted Cruz. Okay, so we have here the challenge card. We have holding on to victory, holding on to what he almost lost in 2018. This is the challenge. Can he hold on to his seat for Ted Cruz? We do have here, we have these 3 cards. And we have here the love-hate relationship between Texas and Ted Cruz, right? The thing that he did to the people of Texas, they're not very forgiving. They were very forgiving in 2018, going into 2020 with, the election and that Senate race there. They're not so forgiving in this election cycle. We do have here, we have the Knight of Pentacles. And Knight of Pentacles feels like people are just moving ahead. His campaign is just moving ahead. People are just still going out and vote for him, regardless of what he did to them. And we have the Knight of Swords. The momentum is not on his side. I don't know. Like, I almost feel like in his future card here, it said the momentum is not on Ted Cruz's side. But we have here the card that represents the Democratic candidate, Colin Abbott, in the state of Texas, is the Knight of Cups. This is somebody who is slow moving, who comes in with an idea and is slowly walking towards victory. This card is reversed. So Spirit Angel tell me, for the card for Colin Abbott, the Democratic candidate, what is his past, present, future for U.S. Senate race this year for the state of Texas? Okay, that's a lot of cards, so we're not going to use those. Please give me past, present, future for Colin Abbott. What is his future holding in the state of Texas? Okay, give me his present. How is the campaign, and just give me everything. I can't even speak right now. Okay, so I guess we'll use this. Can we take it? They told me no. Okay. Spirit Angel tell me, for Colin Abbott, the Democratic candidate here in the state of Texas, please give me the future card. Will they become the next U.S. Senator? Okay. We have the cards. Let's take a look. We have the Ten of Swords, bright future ahead. He had a very good path. He's pretty clean. He's very reliable, very loyal to the people of Texas. We have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of Pentacles reversed. It tells me that he's not as hard working on his campaign as he should. It almost feels like he is a sacrificial lamb for the Democratic Party, and they could have gave him a little bit more funding to give him that additional boost that he needs in the state of Texas. Texas is definitely more competitive than Democrats are hoping for, or at least expecting it to be. It's a lot more competitive. We do have here, we have the 5 of Cups reversed. This card normally means loss, sorrow, upset, but these are 2 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups reversed. And this is telling me that he would be very quite satisfied with the outcome. He's not going to be the victor, but he'll be quite satisfied, and he might do a rematch. I think Ted Cruz might pull off a win, not very, by the slimmest margin, by the slimmest of all margins. He might be the best performing Democrat that we ever seen in a modern day. So that might be a very key indicator why he is satisfied. Yeah. But it's going to be interesting because it almost feels like it goes to a recount because it's so close. But I think if I was to do my judgment based on how it voted in the past, I would say Ted Cruz, but it is very close, and he is very sad, like very calm. Very calm. And Democrats are like, oh, I wish we gave more money. But it almost feels like, in a way, even though they wish they gave more money, they feel okay knowing that, okay with the result. So it'd probably be like, oh, he won narrowly. Just saying that maybe like Texas goes Democrat, but he won narrowly, maybe he could have gotten additional funding to get him further across the finish line faster. But that's what it feels like. I'm going to say Texas is hostile. Because it can go Republican, it can go Democrat. It's extremely close in the state of Texas. It's very hard to call, but I would probably put my money on Ted Cruz by like 1 penny more than Colin Abbott, but it's close. Okay, so we are going to do the next Senate race. Arizona Senate race, Ruben Galileo versus Kari Lake. Kari Lake is the Republican candidate, and Ruben Galileo is the Democrat candidate. So we're going to take a look. So Spirit Angel timing for the Republican nominee and candidate for U.S. Senate race in the state of Arizona, Kari Lake. What is the card that represents her? I'm going to put this card here. Actually, this is the card that came up for her, but I didn't finish talking, so we're going to do it again. So Spirit Angel timing for the Republican candidate Kari Lake in the state of Arizona U.S. Senate race. What is the card that best represents Kari Lake's energy? Okay. The Ace of Pentacles reverse. Okay. And they want me to do 3 cards for Kari Lake, so we'll do that. For Kari Lake in the U.S. Senate race, the in the state of Arizona. Can you give me past, present, future card, please? Past, present, future for Carrie Lake. Okay. Clarify card. All right, Spirit Angel, tell me for the energy, Ruben Galileo, the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Arizona. What is it looking like for Ruben Galileo in the state of Arizona? What is his energy that represents him? Okay, these cards represent him. And can I get a past, present, future? Okay, so I got told I don't need it, so we are not going to pull any cards for this unless we really need it. Okay, so for the Carrie Lake, the Republican candidate here in Arizona Senate race with the Ace of Pentacles reversed. She thinks she won her previous governorship in the state of Arizona. She did not win it. And the arrogance that this is showing is that she's very arrogant. She thinks she's going to win and she's going to declare victory regardless. We have the Page of Pentacles reversed. And the Page of Pentacles reversed for me is telling me that, not all hope is what it seems. And she knows she's going to lose. She knows she doesn't have the momentum. But something changes. She has the Page of Swords. And the Page of Swords is really young people. The question that comes out is, do they turn out and vote? That's the question. And will that cost her election? We have the Three of Cups. And the Three of Cups tells me here, celebration, happiness, joy. It's very possible Carrie Lake could win Arizona Senate seat. It depends on how upset they are when it comes to immigration, Wheel of Fortune, destiny, a path forward. Something is divine for her. The question is she celebrating that maybe she didn't want to become senator and that she's finally free from the blackmail that has been holding her? Or is she celebrating her victory? We're going to find out now with Ruben Galileo. We have here the King of Swords reversed. The incumbent. It's not a good sign for an incumbent. Or in the state of Arizona, the Democrats here, it almost feels like Arizona could go Republican in this election, specifically on the presidential, but especially at the moment with the current energies playing at play. So if as of right now, if the election were to happen, Arizona will go Republican. But that's going to change as you get closer and people do turn out and vote on election day. We have the 10 of Pentacles. People coming out from all different demographics coming out and voting for Ruben Galileo. People that you wouldn't expect, including Native American tribes. And so can I have the final card here? Who is the victor? Is Ruben Galileo the next U.S. Senator in the state of Arizona in 2024? No. So we have here the 10 of Swords reversed. Normally this means yes. But we have the Knight of Cups, slow moving, not moving forward. And then we have here the final result. No, he did not win. I'm going to say as of right now, the current energy, Arizona goes Republican. So I'm going to put that in the Republican category. But again, like I said, I feel like the state of Arizona is one of those states that's going to change. Like what I see right now is going to be changing on election night. So definitely keep that in mind. I wouldn't put Arizona as fully Republican or fully Democrat. Right now it's leaning Republican, but that is going to change. Okay, so we're going to start our next Senate race here, the state of Montana Senate race between Tim Chiley and John Tester. John Tester is the current Democratic incumbent senator in the state of Montana, and Tim Chiley is the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate. So take a look. So Spirit Angels tell me for Tim Chiley, the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Montana, what are the energies surrounding Tim Chiley? Okay, what is the energy surrounding John Tester, the current Democratic incumbent U.S. Senator in the state of Montana? Okay, and do we need any past, present, future card? They told me no, I don't need it. So, okay, so we have the 10 of Swords for Tim Chiley, the Republican candidate. This is not a good sign already for the energy revolving the Republican candidate. We do have here, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of Swords reversed. It tells me here, yeah, it looks like they could take it away from him, but they don't have enough votes to do it. And it feels like, to me, it looks like more of a Democratic victory. Yep. We have the King of Swords. The King of Swords means the current incumbent. They are in power. They are the incumbent. I'm going to say the state of Montana goes to John Tester. John Tester holds on in the state of Montana. So we are going to do the next U.S. Senate race, Pennsylvania U.S. Senate. Bob Casey, the Democrat, versus Dave McCormick, the Republican U.S. candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Pennsylvania. So let's take a look. So Spears Angel tell me for Dave McCormick, the Republican U.S. Candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Pennsylvania. What is the energy revolving around Dave McCormick? What are the cards that best represents him? Okay, we have the card here. Okay, for the state of, for the Democratic candidate Bob Casey, the Democratic U.S. Senate candidate in the state of Pennsylvania. What is the energy that revolves around Bob Casey? Okay. All right, thank you. Do we need past, present, future cards for any of these candidates? No. Okay, so we have here, I want to start with the Republican here. We have a coalition between Republicans and independents or RFK Jr. voters. That's what this is telling me here, that those people who were voting Republican anyway, or were voting for Robert F. Kennedy Jr., they were Republican through. They have Republican ideas, Republican ideals. That is who he is going to get. He's going to get their votes. I'm also seeing Libertarian as well. For Bob Casey, though, we have strength, and we have here 5 of Pentacles. And the 5 of Pentacles was the card that came before the strength card, which tells me here that there's strong correlation that he could lose the seat, but it's pretty good. It's going to be very hard to make Bob Casey lose the seat in Pennsylvania. A lot of things have to go right for the Republican Dave McCormick in order to oust Bob Casey, the incumbent party for Pennsylvania. So we're going to get a little bit of past, present, future here so we can kind of get a full answer. Oops. Okay, Spirit Angels, Tommy, give me a past, present, future for Dave McCormick in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay, we got the challenge card and past, present, future. Okay, and give me Bob Casey, the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Pennsylvania, past, present, future in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay, we have another challenge here. Okay, so we have here in for Dave McCormick, the Republican, the challenge card is being challenged by Biden. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of swords. 5 of wands. This card is telling me here that there's a recap. There's some sort of turmoil over the results. Someone's not happy. We have the Page of Cups. He is the clear favorite in the state of Pennsylvania. However, temperance, balance within the state of Pennsylvania is not there for his campaign, for his energy. However, he does have the Ace of Swords card here that tells me that Dave McCormick could win and defeat the incumbent in the state of Pennsylvania. So as of right now, it looks like Pennsylvania goes Republican. That's the energy that's telling me that in David McCormick, Pennsylvania goes Republican. I don't know if that means that on the presidential election wise, but to defeat Bob Casey, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of strength to do that. Because he's a well-known politician. He has very strong family lineage in the state of Pennsylvania. So if the Republican is winning in the state of Pennsylvania, there's a high probability that Trump is winning on top of the ticket in the state of Pennsylvania. But that is very hard to tell at this point in time. For Bob Casey, though, it's a challenge is the hanged man being tied to President Biden's administration. I almost feel like Biden is bringing down a lot of people down ballot. That's just going to hurt a lot of Democrats. We have the Hermit card. This is telling me that the future was bright if he went down the correct path, going back to the roots of why he won in his first election, going back to who he really is, going back and talking about what it's like to be a Pennsylvanian, talk about good things for Pennsylvanians. We do have here coming down a lot of strong campaign ads for the Republican candidate David McCormick, and just a lot of disadvantages for the Democrats in the state of Pennsylvania Senate. It looks as of right now, Pennsylvania goes Republican. but it's almost like a very touchy thing. It can flip. It's like one of those states that tilt. But as of right now, I'm confident enough to say that David McCormick will win to pull out a win in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay, so we are going to the Florida Senate race with Scott versus Debbie Mushroom Powell. I don't really know, but we're going to do this quick one because we obviously know what the result might be. So Florida U.S. Senate race for Rick Scott, the Republican candidate. What card best represents him in the state of Florida U.S. Senate? Okay. And what card best represents Debbie Mushroom Powell in the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Florida? What card best represents her campaign in the state of Florida? Okay. So we have the magician card for the Democrat, for Debbie Powell. This is a really good card. Holding the wheel, holding the manifestation wand. We have here a balance in the state of Florida. We do have the moon card though. The moon card is indicating howling and going back to its original roots, calling people to come together and vote for you because you are what they're familiar with. So I don't know why I did that, but this is the card. Anyway, so Spirit Angels tell me for past, present, future for Rick Scott, the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Florida. Okay. So for Michigan, for Debbie Powell, the Democratic candidate in the state of Florida, what is it looking like for her, for Debbie Powell, for past, present, future? No, she doesn't win. It's a Republican pickup. The Republican hold. We have the 3 of cup reverse, not so celebration in the past. We do have here the Knight of Swords reverse. It's telling me that no, he's not going to win by big margins like Marco Rubio and what's the other guy's name? Ron DeSantis. We do have here though he does hold on to his seat, Queen of Pentacles, the Republican pickup. It is red as well, so he is going to hold his seat. However, for the magician card, she puts up quite a fight. She's probably the best Democratic Senate candidate in quite a while. We do have here challenged again by disadvantages by the Biden administration. Had the Biden administration done better, at least in terms of messaging and overall feeling and energy, this would have been an easy Democrat pickup. We do have here a lot of advantages, people coming out to vote, more diversity. We do have here the Knight of Cups reverse. This is the Biden card. It's reverse telling me no, and it's also the incumbency. They're not the incumbent. They're not sitting on the throne. She loses the seat. So I'm going to say Republican is pretty confident here that Republicans win the state of Florida. Okay, so we are going to do West Virginia Senate race. Jim Justice, the Republican, versus Glenn Elliott from the Democratic side. So let's take a look. So Spirit Angels tell me for the state of West Virginia U.S. Senate race for Jim Justice, the Republican candidate. What card best represents his campaign and is he the next U.S. Senator? Okay. And please give me a card for Glenn Elliott, the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of West Virginia. Give me a card that best represents him and is he the next U.S. Senator? Is he the U.S. next senator? Glenn Elliott, the Democratic candidate in the state of West Virginia, the U.S. Senate. Interesting. So we have here the card that represents Glenn Elliott is the Knight of Cups. No soulmate, has nothing to offer to the people of West Virginia. However, it's not a gone be all for the Republican. That's why it is the Cup reverse. It's not going to get as big of a margin as Trump is going to get in the state of West Virginia. It's going to be interesting. The state of West Virginia is weird. We have Glenn Elliott, the judgment card. They're judging him, but they're not seeing him as a traditional Democrat, as like a Democrat they normally would. We do have here disadvantages by the Biden administration might kill him, but we do have here the unknown variable. It almost feels like it's starting going to go Republican, but it's not 100%, but it leans Republican. We do have here for Jim Justice, though, we do have the temperance card, which is balance, equal balance between two parties, two candidates, the voters. We do have the Page of Cups. And this is telling me here that, although there is a possibility that, they could win the seat, they're not going to. However, we do have the Four of Swords upright. This tells me a political death or a revitalization. So it feels like it's very possible the Democrats could pull out a surprise win in the state of West Virginia as a form of balance on the U.S. Senate. However, that's not always where it's heading. Final outcome card is it Democrat or Republican? Give me one card for okay. Well, that was pretty much it. Justice, Jim Justice, the Republican, he's in red. I'm gonna say Jim Justice. He's gonna flip West Virginia's Senate seat. So I'm gonna say West Virginia goes to Jim Justice. Okay, so we are going to do Nebraska's Senate race. Deb Fischer versus Dan Osborne. Dan Osborne is the independent candidate versus Deb Fischer, the Republican. So take a look. It's going to be very interesting to see. So Spears Angel Tommy for Deb Fischer, the Republican candidate in the state of Nebraska's U.S. Senate race. What are the energies revolving around Deb Fischer? Okay. And what is the energy revolving around Dan Osborne, the independent candidate in the state of Nebraska versus the Republican? Okay. So we have the Republican, we have the Hierophant. She's not being able to get a coalition of Republicans to back her. They do want some sort of change. They do want something different to represent them. He offers a change, right? Dan Osborne, the Tower card, overthrowing the incumbent. And we have here the Page of Pentacles. Don't get too hopeful is what it's saying here. That is the energy that is emitting from both of these candidates. Can you give me a past, present, future for Deb Fischer, the Republican candidate for U.S. Senate? Okay, give me the past, present, future for Dan Osborne in the U.S. Senate race in the state of Nebraska. Final outcome card. Final outcome card for Dan Osborne. Okay, so we have here for Deb Fischer, we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of Cups, confusion, a lot of scandal. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of reasons to vote against her. We do have here is the 5. Let me actually want to. Yeah, 5 of Swords. A heavy fight. She looks like she pulled ahead narrowly, but it's quite a fight. And the Page of Wands, she doesn't get the mandate. For some reason, she doesn't have a mandate in the U.S. Senate race in Nebraska. We do have here, though, for Dan Osborne, we have the 2 of Pentacles going back and forth in the past. It wasn't so competitive. We do have the King of Pentacles reversed. It tells me he's not going to win the seat, but he is going to make it competitive. And as of right now, he doesn't have that much of a future. It's kind of like dark. So I'm going to say it looks like it goes Republican. Nebraska stays Republican. However, there is this unknown variable is how much Republicans are giving support to independents. You see the support going to the independent. How much will break away from Deb Fischer? So as of right now, I'm going to say Nebraska leaned Republican because it looks more confident in it. But there hasn't been a definitive answer to tell me 100% that they are going to win. For the Republicans, they're going to win Nebraska. So I'm going to put Nebraska at toss-up. Our last Senate seat here, and that is going to be the state of Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin, the Democrat here, versus Eric Howell. So let's take a look and see who's going to win. So I am putting away the cards from the previous reading. Okay, so we're saying it was Tommy for the state of Wisconsin U.S. Senate race. Tammy Baldwin, the Democrat. What is the card that best represents Tammy Baldwin, her energy for the U.S. Senate race in the state of Wisconsin? Okay, and what is the energy that best represents Eric Howell, or Howell, I don't even know how to say it, Hovey, in the state of Wisconsin, the Republican U.S. candidate for U.S. Senate in the state of Michigan, in the state of Wisconsin, my God. Wisconsin is what we're on. Okay, so let's take a look and see what card represents him. Into Sen. Almost feel like the red. Almost feels like. Oh, okay. Let's just do that. So I'm gonna say right here. It looks like Tammy Baldwin loses, and Eric Hovey or whatever his name is wins Wisconsin Senate race. As goes the Senate race normally goes to the state of Wisconsin, but Wisconsin has in recent years had down ballot split ticket voting, so that's not a definitive answer on who wins it on the presidential election level. But it does look like Republicans are performing better in the state of Wisconsin. So I'm gonna say, as of right now, it looks to me like Eric Hovey is going to win Wisconsin. Yeah, because she's out of power. She even had the first card here is reversed. She loses the seat. She loses that. Yeah, no, I don't see it. Yeah, no. I don't even need to show you the card because, like, there's no way. Like, she's not winning. So we have the 10 of cups here. We have the page of cups reverse. We do have the 8 of wands, which normally means the incumbent or being handed the throne. However, we do have the Queen of Cups here, reverse. And this is not my Kamala Harris card. This card is reversed. But it is telling me that because his card is also reversed as well, even though it's leans Republican and it's going to most likely go to the Republican, it's saying that this card is an upright, which means that it's not a definitive. So I'm going to put Wisconsin as tossed up because that's what it feels like. It feels like it can go either way, and it's still based on how many people are still going to vote. And remember, Wisconsin just started voting today, so that also to be noted as well. We have the 8 of Pentacles here. We have the King of Wands reverse, and we have the Fool card. It almost feels like her numbers go up. So you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna retract what I said. I don't know if Wisconsin is going Republican because it looks like to me it's tight. Because her numbers are going up, but it's saying that he had a very good shot as of right now, but then they're going to change. So he's going to be one of those states as well. So I'm going to put Wisconsin in the state of, in the category toss up. So Wisconsin is toss up, but lean probably more Republican at the moment. Okay, so we are going to fill in the map, the U.S. Senate map, based on today's reading. This is where we have it. We have Republicans at 46 Senate seats to the Democrats 42 or 40 seats, plus 2 independents caucusing with the Democrats. So let's take a look. We have 12 Senate seats up for grabs. So let's start with the Democrat side here. We have Maryland go to the Democrats. We have the state of Ohio go to Democrats, and we have the state of Montana go to Democrats. However, for Republicans, we do have a flip in the state of Nevada here. We do have a flip in the state of Arizona. We do have a flip in the state of Pennsylvania. We do have a hold in the state of Florida. And we do have a flip in the state of West Virginia. We can now project at the moment, with the current races that are currently underway, we can now project that Republicans will win the U.S. Senate. However, for the states that are considered tossed up or too close to call, we do have the state of Michigan. We are going to put that under the category of tilt because as of right now with the current energies, it is leaning towards Republican, but it cannot be called at this time. We do have for Democrats, though, in the state of Texas, we can say that Colin Abbott is on track for victory in the state of Texas here, Democrat lean. We cannot make an official call at that moment. However, in the state of Nebraska, she's tightly behind in the state of Nebraska, and she's most likely going to pull out a win against Dan Osborne, but it's very close, and it can go the other way. And we do have here as well in the state of Wisconsin, we can say it leans Republican as well, or tilt Republican. So the highest percentage of margin for Republicans would be 54 to 46 Democrats. However, if this was the outcome and the state Democrats were able to change the narrative in some capacity, we could see an outcome where something like this occurs. So something like that was 49-51, and that would be the best case scenario for Democrats at the time. We did say as well that the state of Nevada might be an interesting one. So Democrats could be a 50-50 Senate, and same thing with Arizona. So it is going to be very interesting to see, but the original map that I showed you prior will be the defining map. So I'm going to stay at the moment Republicans are on track and are at 51 U.S. Senate seats at the moment. They have the advantage or the upper hand here. So I hope you guys liked today's video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the video, the like icon. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, I'll see you guys soon. Bye.